What if the version of you running your life isn't even you? What if your habits, your reactions, your limitations are just a story your brain has rehearsed so many times you started calling it me? Think about it. The person you think you are. The I'm shy. The I always mess things up. The I don't deserve more. Did you choose those beliefs? Or did they just happen to you? Because here's what no one tells you. Your identity isn't the truth. It's a loop. And unless you interrupt it, you'll spend your life defending a version of yourself that was built in survival, not in choice. But that can change starting right now. You weren't born with an identity. You were born with a presence, a clean slate, a nervous system, a body that just was. But little by little the world handed you a mirror, and you started piecing yourself together. You're the smart one. You're too sensitive. You always mess things up. Be quiet. Be good. Be strong. These weren't just words. They were instructions, and you followed them because following meant survival. That's how identity forms. Emotionally charged experiences plus repetition equals belief. And the more emotional weight those experiences carry, the more deeply wired the identity becomes. Now here's what makes this so hard to break. Once your brain forms a belief about who you are, it starts filtering every moment through that lens. If you believe I'm not lovable, then even a delayed text becomes proof. Even a compliment feels suspicious. Even peace feels fake, like it's about to be taken away. And your brain thinks it's keeping you safe by reinforcing that identity. Because if your identity says, this is who I am, then change becomes threatening. The brain will choose consistency over truth every single time, unless you retrain it. If this is making you uncomfortable, good. Discomfort means the old version of you is getting called out. Hit like and subscribe if you're ready to stop living a story you didn't choose. This channel is about rewiring identity, not with fake positivity, but with tools that actually work. Step 1. Catch the looping identity script. Before you can rewrite your identity, you have to know what it says. So here's the first step. Notice your loop. Ask yourself, what's the sentence I keep repeating in my head about who I am? I always ruin things. I'm too much. No one gets me. I can't trust anyone. Nothing ever works out. Write it down. Say it out loud. Call it what it is. A script, not a truth. It might feel uncomfortable. That's how you know you found the right one. Step 2. Trace the origin without getting stuck. Now go deeper. Where did I learn this version of me? Close your eyes. Let the emotion guide you back. Was it your parents? A moment at school? A breakup? A teacher? A silence that should have been a hug? You're not doing this to stay stuck in the past. You're doing it to understand the blueprint. Because once you trace the origin, you stop blaming yourself for a story that was never yours to begin with. Step 3. Name the cost of staying the same. The brain needs leverage to change, so give it some. Ask, what is this identity costing me? The relationship I want, the career I don't think I deserve, my peace, my voice, my ability to just rest. Write it down, get specific. Because when the cost of staying the same becomes higher than the fear of changing, you move. Here's where it gets powerful. Now ask, who do I want to be? Even if it feels uncomfortable right now. And answer in present tense. I'm someone who follows through. I am someone who is safe to love. I'm someone who handles life with presence and grace. I am someone who speaks with clarity. Write it like it's real. Not because it is yet, but because the brain needs repetition, not perfection. Identity is a muscle. You build it through consistent rehearsal of who you want to become. You don't wait until it feels real. You take a breath and you ask, what would this version of me do next? And then you do it scared. Do it awkward. Do it while the old self screams. Because action is the only language the brain can't ignore. You don't need to feel ready. You need to move differently. Every new decision is a brick in the new identity. And every time you act from that version of you, you weaken the hold of the old one. I used to think I was the quiet one, the overthinker, the avoider, the person who was always too intense to be understood. And I wore that like armor, because at least I knew it. At least I could predict how life would feel. But what I didn't realize was that identity was keeping me small. So I started asking different questions. What if I'm not difficult? What if I'm just powerful, and no one ever showed me how to hold it? What if I'm not too much? What if they were just never enough to meet me? That's when the story cracked. Not all at once, but in small choices, in new thoughts, in saying, this is who I am now, before I fully believed it. And that changed everything. You don't need to become someone else, you just need to stop performing the old you. Your identity is plastic, trainable, responsive. And the version of you that feels stuck, that's just an echo, a memory your body kept replaying, until you called it, me. But now you know. You're not that story. You're not that loop. You're not that voice in your head. You're the one who chooses what happens next. What's one identity belief you're ready to let go of? Drop it below like you're breaking up with it. And then, write the new one you're stepping into. This video is for educational and motivational purposes only, and is not a substitute for professional mental health care. If you're struggling, please reach out to a licensed therapist or healthcare provider.